Hello. We're grateful to have you here on this, the day of my daughter's wedding.
With our 345 and Pasteur collab show.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, since today's episode is a 345 collaboration, we wanted to mention Burlington. This EDP we got mid-episode when we were filming for 345. So here are the scent notes. The scent is warm with undertones of ripe fruit. Sandalwood and patchouli bring the depth, while the undertones of peach, sweet rose, and the opening gardens of the floral scents draw you closer. There needed some spice to round it out, so a little cinnamon was used.
Y'all, the latest addition to our masterpiece collection. What a fabulous outside-the-box scent, and fabulous for outside in spring and summer. The intensity is incredible. But the scent is gentle, and I don't know how to better describe that, but when I put it on, I was like, oh, I wonder how much this is throwing. And Sarah in the other room goes, Burlington?
Yep.
Yeah. Just the way it plays in the highs with the sweets is beautiful. The grounding, darker scents are barely perceptible, but they are the dance floor that the others are standing on. Fabulous job with this, 345. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is Consigliere.
Well, I might need a little advice before we meet this soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at PasteurPharmacy.com.
Every amazing company has a trusted advisor. The shaving community is no different. The structure of the mafia is that the boss makes the decisions that benefit the family. Well, where does the boss get his information from? The consigliere, the trusted advisor, the one that truly has the boss's best interests at heart.
The consigliere is one of the most influential persons in the family, just like Pasteur Pharmacy and the shaving community family. They are the true familia, the ones who have been there for the traditional shaving community, guiding, educating, promoting the true art of shaving.
We are so honored to be part of this celebration. Pasteur is celebrating 5 years of being in the trenches, truly dedicating themselves to honor, family, and core values as a business of putting the customer first. Pasteur Pharmacy has been supporting the shaving community with absolute honor and integrity.
With this release of Consigliere, we wanted to bring such an amazing scent. Bergamot is a bright fruit, fresh, invigorating, and bringing freshness to the top. Truly, the scent is embodied with the same characteristics as the title of Consigliere commands. Bourbon and oak deepen and round out the bright fruit on top. This is absolutely an intoxicating scent and completely fitting for the most trusted advisor, the Consigliere.
Wow, only 3 scent notes?
I know! Y'all, but we have figured out, especially recently, that 2 and 3 scent note soaps can open up worlds of things when they combine. So I'm excited to see what Pasteur and 345 have created with this one. Maybe a second masterpiece of theirs this week. We'll know when we open the box. I happened to see the email from Pasteur. They put a little extra something in here for us that's not just the soap and the splash, and I'm so excited because we actually really need one. They threw in a Pasteur Pharmacy shaving towel! Y'all, look at that! Love it! And y'all, when a wet shaving supplier makes their own towels, they are generally amazing, and this is no exception. Feel how soft and absorbent that is.
Yeah.
Well, we'll use that today after we lather the face. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh,
look at the label.
Yeah, I love that the new Pasteur label is on the picture behind him. Look at that.
Cool.
And what's that over his shoulder? You say, why, that's the Empire State Building, 2.5 blocks from Pasteur Pharmacy. Which I saw on my last trip to New York, but I had no idea what a giant part of my life it would become. Oh, and let's see, they threw in a splash!
Oh,
thanks, you guys! Fabulous!
I do feel like if I was sitting at his desk, we'd be in for some serious business.
Right? And thank you so much, Pasteur and 345, for sending this out for free to review and believing in our little show. We so appreciate it, especially with the wedding coming. Takes a little stress off the wedding fund. All right, I am seeking some wisdom today in this first impression.
All right, we have 3 scent notes. I am intrigued.
Woo! Y'all, strap in. Here we go. I'm excited. Oh, beautiful pour on that 345 soap. One of the best bases in the business. All right, here we go.
That's a long whiff.
Wait. Oh, wait.
We need a minute.
Whoa. Y'all, there's a reason the bergamot is first. That is not only the doorkeeper, but when you walk in, you are in a beautiful citrus grove of candied oranges and limes. We found out the other day bergamot's actually in the orange family, not the lime family. But y'all, it starts there and it doesn't leave throughout the whiff. Other stuff just gets added in. And I think a hand juts out from behind a tree and hands you a beautiful sweaty bourbon right there in the middle of the grove. This is beautiful because it starts outside and citrusy. Ooh. Whoa. And then just as that first sip of bourbon is washing over you and you're discovering the oak casks where it was born, that oak travels back up to the top like a roller coaster and combines back with the citrus, somehow becoming the wood of the citrus tree, and your adventure starts all over again. Whoa, I love it when scents do that.
It's like a never-ending loop.
Yes, it's like a loop. That your nose is never totally still, like a carousel. There's always a ring to reach out and grab of something new in between these scent notes. And hold on, let's talk about where the scent notes are coming together, because the first sense that my brain got was creamy. Oh. Something in between the citrus and the bourbon has kind of almost a milky, creamy sense to it. And it's beautiful. Well, especially then, the way that connects back to the oak, which then makes it more dry and woody as you say goodbye and start the adventure all over again.
Ooh. Get your tickets for the ride, y'all.
Ooh. And y'all, when you zoom out, it becomes something beautifully clean and soapy, which means when you smell this on a Consigliere, it's not about mystery, it's not about depth, it's about intelligence, it's about cleverness. This guy's good with numbers. You can just smell it.
Yeah, think about it. You'd want to sit across someone that has a level head, that can make decisions without getting frazzled.
Well, and I think the point is, it's not needing to prove itself. You know how Tony Soprano, there are just certain ways when he walks in the room, he has to establish dominance. This doesn't have that. This establishes intelligence. This establishes cleverness. And I think part of that is it's only done with 3 scent notes. Only the best chefs in the world can make a Michelin star dish out of 4 ingredients. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the cool part of the bourbon, I don't even really sense it as like the bourbon in the bottle in my dad's liquor cabinet. No, it's almost like the vanilla and the spices of some of the bourbon has been taken out and joined with the dark, beautiful, woody oak characters. There's nothing that like burns my nose like an alcohol scent sort of would, or even hints at those kind of Three Amigos moments of like taking a shot of bourbon. It's not in there. It's just the calm, clean spices that are used in some of the bourbons that's in here for me. Wow.
It's almost like the more expensive bourbons. You know, like you can just buy the whiff of it. You know how expensive it is.
But yeah, I'd say about 40% is the bergamot. About 30% is the oak.
Okay.
30% is the bourbon. But again, it's subdued. It's been turned down.
I kind of like that, though.
I do, too.
Does it seem like it's more masculine? Like you were mentioning Tony. I would picture him more masculine than this guy, maybe.
Yes. Yes. Very masculine, but very masculine in an every hair in place white linen suit on Easter kind of masculine, where you're probably going to go have a schwitz after. And there's a mystery note where this is coming together for me, but y'all, something like warm sand, if I was really going to try to put my thumb on it, is sort of at the heart of this. Somehow a beautiful, creamy, candied, limey, orangey, warm sand. All right, take it in. See if you get kind of the same thing.
Oh, look, there's a straight razor and a brush. I don't know if you can see it in the bottom of the label, because clearly, you know, he's part from that world. He doesn't need a gun. He's got that.
And he's clean shaven. All right, see what you get. I think you're going to be beguiled by this one.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, if I walked into an office to sit down with a consigliere, if it smells like this, I would feel like I'm in the right place.
Right. You'll feel instantly comforted.
I would know he has my back immediately. Like you said, there is no hair out of place. He's ready for whatever you're going to bring into that office. He's got you covered.
Confidence.
It's confidence, but it's one that you trust. It's not created. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It's not someone
right.
putting on, like, pretending they've got it figured out.
Tradition, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is definitely something my grandpa could have smelled like, but it has sort of a modern feel to it.
It does, but it's somebody that's like grounded on their feet. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
Like they can't be blown over by any chaos of anything. Like they got this. They're
No
covered.
distractions.
It's interesting. I get the crisp side of the bergamot first. That brings me in.
Right.
And then the sweet kind of catches me after that sort of whiff, bringing me into the bourbon side. So the spices of the bourbon have a little of that sweet side, which I think almost creates like a vanilla-ish thing. It's funny, my brain wants the citrus to be the color of white. It doesn't want it to be the green of the bergamot or an orange or something. Like, it wants to be the crisp side.
Well, it only has the sweet part of the citrus. It doesn't have any of the green of the leaves or the stem, which we had on a scent a couple of weeks ago. No, this is just the fruit itself. Maybe a little bit of that beautiful essential oil as you dig a nail into the rind kind of a thing.
For me, this is a morning scent. There's something about the crispy side that brings me in. I would want to start my day with this. It's funny. I really always think of like the mob kind of world happening at night, but there's something daytime that's definitely attached to this.
I think this would almost be inappropriate once the sun went down. This is so beautifully bright and afternoony.
But you gotta have your drink at the desk while you're making all those decisions. So I understand why you have the bourbon and then like the oak desk underneath you maybe. Like it does paint a scene, but it's funny. My brain just immediately as I hear like more like mob boss-esque, everything is dark. Even the office is dark, like it's secretive. And this is the opposite. This is the nice welcoming side of that somehow.
Well, y'all, I think it's time we consult our advisor and look at these scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at PasteurPharmacy.com. Bergamot is a bright fruit, fresh, invigorating, and bringing a sense of freshness to the top.
I would agree. I think that's why we both said this is more of a morning sense. There's something in that chunk that brings you in.
You know, I think the reason that my nose is zooming in on the sweet inside the citrus is because of how sweet it's not. It's almost like being in a symphony hall in the back and hearing one voice on stage. And you're like, oh, I can hear it. But then you realize, oh, yeah, but it's kind of faint. And there's something beautiful and masculine about letting the not parts of the citrus be the stars, but it's not the sour part. It's not the tart, bitter part. It's just the beautiful, clean, soapy part of the bergamot. And I love that it's only adding as much sweet as it absolutely has to, because I think that even might have had a negative effect on the bourbon if you'd made it too sweet, because the way the bourbon sits in this is beautiful. And oak, deepen and round out the bright fruits on top. Yeah, this is kind of a tug of war between that bergamot and the bourbon oak, but it's like a friendly one somehow.
Yeah. Like the colors, I know some of you guys like hearing what colors I get. When I start the whiff, it's a white, bright, clean scent. And then it kind of goes more to like a canvasy tan color. It doesn't go as dark as a dark oak would be.
Right. And unlike the distiller or barrel proof or bluegrass muse, I don't think I would identify the bourbon in here as a bourbon or even a whiskey. I think it's being used for something different, and I think the spices have been so beautifully spread out that I wouldn't get it as a bourbon anymore.
I would completely agree. If I hadn't known by reading that and I just got a whiff of this, I think I would say something like there's a nice spice in here, but I wouldn't know it was bourbon.
Right. I would have said it was an herb. I would have said it was a spice.
Maybe when we get to the splash later, we might change our minds. But for right now, that's where we're at.
All right, y'all, these are our bougie sticks from Amazon.com, so we don't contaminate our soap with my dirty, dirty fingers. And this is our Haley's Artisan Bowl. I call this our fortune teller bowl. And Sarah's just going to make a flat plane with the soap on the bottom of that bowl so that the brush just pulls up layers, not chunks of soap. And y'all, last year I called Craig at Opus Brush and I said, my beloved here loved strawberry shortcake when she was growing up. Is there any way that you could make her a strawberry shortcake brush to match my Mystery Machine brush from my Scooby-Doo days? Oh, he came through in grand style, y'all. And Craig will not let us soak his brushes from Opus Brush. We are to use them dry. Send your comments to Craig at Opus Brush.
All right, so after you've sprayed our bougie here, we take the dry brush onto the soap and start going one direction, get it between all those little bristles, and then start going the other direction. And once you feel like it's not really soaking up anymore onto the bristles, you take your brush and spin it. 25%, go again. One way, and then back the other way. Keep going till it feels like same thing. It's not really getting into those bristles anymore. And then you rotate the brush again.
We were the first show on YouTube to suggest rotating the brush, except for all the others. And then just about the time all the soap has made its way onto those slightly moist bristles, we're going to go down and grab the rest of that water and start making our lather in earnest. We did watch our Monday morning mailbag today, and boom lather indeed. Look at this. Y'all, this is interesting. The whiffs that I'm getting off the lather are rather like one of the most enigmatic scents in all of our collection, Paganini's Violin from Barrister and Mann, designed to smell like fresh, clean skin out of the shower.
Well, again, if we wanted to go with that crisp, clean Consigliere.
There is more than a passing connection between those two for me, y'all. What if there's a little Iso pair in here? There might be. Woo! That is a grown-up lather you are building over there. Look at that.
Falling out of the bowl. Watch
Gorgeous.
the dog.
Show it to the people. And y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Silvio or Polly Walnuts with on 3, 1, 2. Wow. Oh, this really takes you on a journey depending on which one of those 3 scent notes you want to explore. They all have separate roller coaster tracks.
Yep, this one I think, I don't want to say it's less, the citrus is different bringing you in. It's a little tamer into like the woodsy side somehow for me here.
And the sweet part of the citrus almost hides the sweet part of the bourbon until you look for it. But it's really cool in there because they're a lot more equal and they kind of start hitting a tennis ball back and forth.
Again, a soap with movement the whole time.
Right. And y'all, Chris Smith, our friend the Lathered Yeti, just started his YouTube channel, and we love seeing how that lather coats and covers face while we don't do shaving or in the Barbershop Duet. We thought you might like to see what it looks like when this 345 base coats and covers a very handsome moneymaker, hers. Oh, this is like Paganini's Violin if there was some adventures you had after you left the shower.
Yeah, you had this, that's like the shower version. This is the in the suit, ready to conquer the world version. At the beginning, I thought it was a little too masculine for me, but now smelling it here once it's lathered, I would totally want to rock this. Bergamot definitely is working for me.
And I'm going to use my new Pasteur towel to take this lather off. Let's go a little deep. And y'all, Leon was so kind and also threw in the splash for us to review. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Ooh, lovely cloudy color. A little skin food, I think, going on in here.
I might accidentally spill on the dog. We'll
No,
see.
it's okay. Oh, this is lovely because this does not go beyond what my nose was getting in here. It just turns up the intensity a bit. What are you finding?
I think the bourbon has a little more of a voice here. The spices are actually talking to me.
Right, but it's not like the bourbon is becoming more of an identifiable bourbon note. It's like a few of the spices inside the bourbon, the ones that blend best with oak, are the only ones present. But y'all, for me, that way, without this being a whiskey-centered soap, it leaves my nose so much more room to explore. Because if this was too much of an identifiable bourbon soap in the middle, my nose would just go, oh, bourbon. Is there cherry in it? Is there this in it? Great. But what this has done is create a whole different world with these spices where your nose is going, is that bourbon? And then it's diving into everything else to figure out how all these clicks are happening.
And I have to say, to me, this matches a little bit more the label now. Like, this could be a little bit more of a nighttime scent in the splash than it was just in the soap. That bergamot kind of made it more daytime for me. This is more all day in the splash.
And I'm going to say it. This very well might be our 2025 front runner for the Marcus Clean scent of the year.
Sure.
I don't think, as I walked by, anyone would think I was wearing anything, but they would for sure think, wow, that is a clean guy. And you know how hard that is to pull off for me. I walk uphill an hour a day.
I do feel like if we put this on the crowd-pleasing scale, though, this would be pretty high on that chart, too.
And that's what I mean. If you had turned the bourbon up, you would have turned the crowd-pleasing down. That is a rather specific forward scent in a shave soap. But y'all, I think that is the mastery of this in how it's still there, but not in a form where you would know it was an alcoholic drink. And somehow that adds so beautifully to make this clean scent masculine. Because how easy is a clean scent for the ladies? Really easy. They got florals they can play with. We don't. So I love that the undertones of that bourbon and those spices and that maybe vanilla and nutmeg and things that are swirling around in it are what are giving me that masculine sense of clean.
I do feel like this is great for a newbie, younger wet shaver,
right.
and also for a seasoned wet shaver. Like, there's something in this for everyone.
But you're right. Somebody that's just used to a cremo that would really appreciate a glow up.
Right.
This is something I would give them. And y'all, we have a few new Whiff Pack members, including Jessica, who are of the female persuasion, and we so appreciate 345 for creating things like Releve, which Mila at Adopted Acres wears every day. Beautiful scents for both the gentlemen and the ladies.
But I do feel like, ladies, you will love getting a whiff of this on your man. Just saying.
And Burlington, too. What a beautiful unisex creation that is.
We have heard there's a few other collaborations that they're doing for Pasteur to help celebrate this 5-year anniversary. This is a great one to get things started.
So it's pretty easy. Y'all just be Marlon Brando and Martin Scorsese trying to craft the iconic character of Vito Corleone for The Godfather. You're going to try out a bunch of different characters. You're going to try a bunch of different voices. But just about the time Marlon Brando says, "Hey, can you bring me those cotton balls?" you're going to get your own. So head over to PasteurShaving.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want. Well, I have had my shave, y'all, with Consigliere, and you know why this is cool? I was thinking, why is this such a formidable role in all of the crime stories I like watching? Well, it's the only person in the entire family, for the most part, that is above reproach. It's the one person you can always trust when no one else is trustable. When you're at the mattresses, this is your friend. Clean, cozy, responsible, protective, all at once, with sort of a base of skin underneath all of it. Well, if you got some skin in the game, y'all, this might be your pony. Thank you, 345 and Pasteur, for this. Welcome to Messages!
So for our May giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $20 to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first June episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck!
Fresh cut fade, aces over eights. Hey, 345, you have been doing something absolutely right in this hobby since the day we got into it, and we are so appreciative, not just for the quality of your scents, but for the imagination that you put into your products. Your labels are always fire, and your base is incredible.
We can't wait to one day finally visit New York City and see Pasteur in person. It'll happen one day. But don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell smarter just watching this.